Besides the Office of the President and Office of the Executive Treasurer, other essential offices under the Executive Committee are the Vice President for Internal Affairs, Vice President for External Affairs, and the Executive Secretary. With all the preparations for the imminent 2022 makeup elections, the student body now anticipates the next set of officers who will succeed the previous USG administration. Before the official onset of the said makeup elections, let's look back at the milestones of outgoing USG Executive Committee officers and how they were able to maximize their term in office prior to and during the transition from the online to face-to-face setup. USG Vice President for Internal Affairs Brittany Paderes, USG Vice President for External Affairs Lara Homalesa, and USG Executive Secretary Jewel Limhoco take on the podium. With its goal to elevate the DLSU University student government towards a more inclusive and student-centered environment for the previous academic year, the USG OVPIA, OVPEA, and OSEC were headed by Brittany Paderes, Lara Homalesa, and Jewel Limhoco respectively.
Firstly, for student services, currently we have the Pahiram Locker already, which has been ongoing right now. Aside from that, we also have student services body. So this one aims to really guide the students when it comes to processes. Kasi syempre, nahirap din talaga, like, especially if students need to reach out to the admin offices. For the policies one, it's more on the balik DLSU proposals. Aside from that, the face-to-face commencement exercises.
On my end, for the Office of the Vice President for External Affairs, we do have 3 pillars that we usually work on when it comes to our projects. So, community development, meron kaming external opportunities, and national affairs. One of the most successful umbrella projects that we had was the student development goals, which was in partnership with different partner organizations outside DLSU and at the same time colleges that we have here. For the external opportunities, Head Start, it's mainly a career and development opportunity for students who want to know more about different career paths related to their college specific.
We really prioritize centralized communication, and that was one of my commitments this year. It was also to really rebuild the IMC, our social media platforms, and ensure na we're really trying to engage well with the students and make them read all our announcements and have updates 24/7. We had different talks and also general assemblies. That's also what OSEC does. Mga internal challenges also we do para the USG officers are also engaged.
During their term in office, Paderes, Homalesa, and Limhoco pressed on ensuring the involvement of its officers to help cater to the needs of the student body.
When we had, like, let's say, our policy making, we really ensured that each college or campus would have their own inputs talaga. Kasi we can't just keep on posting stuff na we think okay na pala. Kasi we won't know. Each college has its own needs. And I really like to give a shout out to our executive committee for that. They have been helpful in crafting these surveys, these policies.
For OSEC, our general goal talaga was the centralized communication and also going beyond just operations. We also really wanted to empower our office and make sure that, okay, we're able to do much more than that. We made sure internally that we had our sistema, our protocol on how we implement our projects, our goal setting, making sure that we do everything on the right timeline.
Along with my executive committee, when it comes to the specific measures that we had to go through, probably it would have to be more on the participation of the Lasallian community, not just the student itself, but also the administration, how involved they are in our specific projects. Kasi sobrang important ng role din nila on having a certain project by the USG being implemented both on-site and online.
As they continued efforts to ensure that the concerns of the student body were addressed, they encountered numerous challenges in guaranteeing the execution and success of their projects and plans of action.
I think yung pinaka-challenge talaga, which are the uncontrollable ones. So in our term as executive board, we faced COVID-19 outbreak. It was around January 2022 ata. We also experienced typhoon. We experienced moving of academic calendar. And these are the things that we didn't have a hold on. And I think it really also tested, you know, the way we adapt or be flexible on how things are. At the end of the day, it's important na even on these challenges, we still give our 100% effort to be of service to our community.
I would say there would be a lot, pero yung pinaka-specific talaga minsan would have to be time. Smart kasing certain times na you have to do a certain project for a specific time. So, for example, national affairs. Though we have a lot of projects in line for national affairs na nakaplano siya beforehand, may mga mini projects na kailangan ilagay dyan sa community and to the USG and also to the student body.
Being 2 years online and then suddenly you have to change all the processes that we already adjusted to for 2 years. Mental health wise, we had to really understand the personal situations of our officers and make sure that they had to take breaks as well and rest. So because of this, we had to be flexible to the God that there were many uncertainties this year and we had to learn to really bounce back, act quickly and be prepared and of course be transparent.
I think that's the reason why in OVPA we really made sure to balance everything. Kasi there's the fun activities, there's the one that really assists the students, and there's the one na, you know, like long term it's gonna be there. And at the end of the day, for me, yung thought na matutulungan mo lang kahit isang estudyante, like it already means a lot to them. I really enjoy seeing students right now being happy back in campus. Parang bumalik ulit yung community that we lost like over, you know, like the pandemic.
I think the projects of OVPA benefited the Salle community in 3 aspects din. I would say their involvement to the community when it comes to our partner organizations and partner beneficiaries. Kumbaga, yung communion and mission din nila as a core value ng Lasallian student. And another thing would be their critical involvement during the national election. Tipong na aware on certain situations, but rather they know what to do and they know what type of actions they would be doing. We collaborate with COSCA, with the Office of the President, and other organizations outside DLSU as well, so that we ensure that students are well informed with the current issues faced by the country and even us ourselves as Filipinos.
I really wanted to ensure that there's a friendly culture. So I think we were able to kind of show that through our pubs and our branding. We wanted it to be a bit lighter, friendly and approachable because USG is seen as a very professional, very serious. We wanted to make sure that students could approach us anytime. We wanted to show that through our branding and vision as well.
Paderes and Homalesa, despite the struggles experienced in office, had managed to establish their own legacy in the USG, OVPA, and OVPA for their long-term sustainability inside and outside the Lasallian community, both in the online and face-to-face setting.
Being OVPA for this like last academic year, na-realize ko na when we're too fixated on the thought na I wanna leave something like a legacy, parang hindi mo na makikita yung present issues na nangyayari. So I really focus on the present issues. So I really focus on just, you know, helping. So it's really like just focusing on the present and hopefully that leaves a mark on the students' lives forever.
I think one of the legacies that OVPA has established siguro would really revolve around Casaliano para sa 2022 or umbrella project for national affairs. It was a very hectic term for everyone, especially for national affairs. So dito, we had the Vice Presidential Forum, Mayoral Forum. It was the first time as well for the Lasallian community to establish a homegrown website, Pili na Pinas. So it's going to be a sustainable platform for elections.
We just recently came back to face-to-face. So we had to adjust a few times to create projects. We have released several surveys, crafted several proposals to the admin, which hopefully could help with the future USG and as well as students coming in DLSU. Really made sure now we empowered our officers and also provided safe space for them. And externally naman, it's really what they need and the passion that we have when we were helping them.
I think for now, the Office of the President and the Office of the Vice President for External Affairs are working on projects with Task for Safe School. So we're mainly looking into different initiatives that concern the safety of the students here within the parameters of DLSU. There have been a lot of the news and at the same time incidents din na concern students' welfare. So I think that's something that we're trying to leave also behind.
For the next OSEC officers to really be the source of light to the USG, I think OSEC is the HR and the IMC of the whole USG. So it really holds great power and importance to be able to ensure that the USG is in order internally, because we won't be able to serve well and with our hearts if we're not in order and it's in chaos. There's gonna be so many challenges, but you always have to go back to your purpose. Focus on what really matters so that it can really show in the quality of your projects.
In light of their resignation due to personal circumstances, Paderes, Homalesa, and Limpoco are confident in the turnover to their successors and will remain present whenever the next set of officers would need their assistance in the future.
Actually, first term pa lang, meron na kaming turnover sheets. So, currently, for the in-appoint na OVPA right now, I haven't really left OVPA because I've been there helping them, like, let's say, with decisions, sometimes with what they need to do. I'm still close with the current OVPA EB right now, and we really work together.
For the transition to my new OIC, he's been with me in several meetings already. I think just allowing them to go with you in different meetings and making sure that all the different initiatives, past, current, and yung gagawin pala, dapat involved na sila because it will be needed din kasi for them to assess what measures can they improve on in succeeding projects. I'll still be mentoring OVPA, so that's a promise then na the mentorship will always be there, and at the same time ensuring that the capacity of my officers and the office itself will be able to help the succeeding officers of OVP.
Preparation-wise, we're ready na naman to give it to the next administration. All the documents, we've made sure that everything was documented properly. I'm sure that it would be an easy transition, turn over whoever it's going to be, and definitely like make sure they communicate well. They can ask any questions that they need, even a year from now. And kahit I'm working na, I'm still always gonna be there to mentor and guide. So making sure that it's also transparent, that everyone turns over smoothly, not just OSEC, but of course all the USG union.
Since OVP is the heart of the USG, I think in whatever you do, you have to pour your heart out, your efforts, 100%, the best efforts that you can for the students. Not just dealing with students, you're also dealing with admins. And it can really be tiring and emotionally draining. You have to really find that drive, what keeps you on moving forward to where you committed to. I really don't have much expectations anymore. I don't know what's going to happen for the next few terms in DLSU. So I think I'll just leave it at that. Just have the heart to really help the students.
I'm really hoping that the three pillars like the community development, external opportunities, and national affairs, no matter how many initiatives, what kind of initiatives that they have, I hope those three pillars stay intact and the core mission of what they do. I think they should just be able to create initiatives na impactful for the students and they'll be able to sustain it and at the same time help the students din.
Although these USG officers recently announced their formal resignation in light of personal matters, let us recognize their hard work, dedication, and commitment during their term as USG officers and wish them the best of luck with their future endeavors. For the succeeding USG administration, the pressure is on to raise the USG to greater heights not only within the executive committees, but also for the DLSU student body. Learn from the past, acknowledge the present, and look towards the future. This has been Mao Marasigan for Arch News, reminding you to vote for candidates who truly deserve a place behind the podium.